Meeting a BM-21 napalm grad attack in Warno is like catching a cricket ball. Shock is dissipated by drawing back the hands. A little give, a little suppleness, and the violence of the impact is vastly reduced. Winston Churchill on Untermensch and Zentrum. This is a Warno Rookie Tournament 1v1 cast played between Manco playing as Untermensch and Zentrum and Ajm241 playing as 39Y. And as in the name, this is part of the rookie tournament, so if you're expecting high-level strats, you've come to the right place. And I wanted to cast some of these rookie games so that the viewers can understand that, you know, most people aren't shooting smoke mortars all over the entire length of the map. The average player is probably worse than these two guys. In fact, just over half of players never even press the multiplayer button. And competitive 1v1 really is a circle within a circle within a circle. So, you know, if you want to get into the tournament circuit and you're thinking, well, I'm not good enough, I can't smoke the entire map, I don't have 5 million APM, then don't worry, because they put on these rookie tournaments and they're really cool. It shows a different level of the game. It shows the most common level of the game, and we can learn together and have a good laugh. And so I'm going to cast some of these rookie tournament games, and in the title it will say rookie tournament or whatever. So if you only want to see the highest level plays, then, you know, watch something else, I guess. But I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll go into the deployments and then we'll go into the match. And one advantage of these off-meta tournaments is that you see off-meta divisions played, like Unternehmen. How many people do you see playing Unternehmen in the tournament circuit right now? So let's start with Manco's deployment, and then we'll do AJM's, and then we'll start the game. Right, so I accidentally let the clock run 7 seconds from the start, so everybody's a bit further forwards than you'd expect. But let's talk about the deployment and what's going on. So Vertigo, basically, if you take the town at the start, it's really hard for the enemy to get back in, so usually people rush for the town. Similarly, if you take Delta, it is quite hard for the enemy to get back in. But it's not as hard as the town, because in the town you can just put ATGM teams in all these buildings, and then it's very, very difficult for a player to move across this open ground, whereas here the distance isn't as wide, and the guy in red can shoot for this and then take this, and the guy on blue can take this and then use that to hop across to here. So deployment, let's talk about Manco's deployment. So he's opened with, on the left side, he's opened with some Mottgrenzer, which you don't see a lot because there are only 4 men. And correct me if I'm wrong, but these guys could come in the cool transport, perhaps, with the KPVT, but maybe they can't. So if they can, then bring them in that, and if they can't, then don't bother. I typically prefer higher HP recon squads, so they, you know, this is very cheap, so that's why it's being brought. And so he's got 2 Strelers. These are forward deployed, and they're going to here and here. And then he's got 1 FS SPG9 going to here, and 1 FS Jägermesser going to here, and then 2 recon, 1 going to here where he can't see anything. So presumably once he gets there, he's going to path him forward so he can see something. And the other guy was on a move order all the way down to here. So yeah, it's a good way to stop people from flanking you, is to do that. Yeah, I mean, you might say, well, that takes ages, but the alternative is if he uses fast move that goes over here, and it's a pretty realistic chance that he might die. So I can understand why he's done that. On this side, we see big attack going for the town, which is what you like to see. We got a couple FS SPG9s, and they're going to go for these buildings. So at the start, so the guy that's going to this building, you'd want to path him to here and then move him to here. I know it's very pedantic, but if the enemy's got forward deployment, which actually he doesn't on 39, so you'll be all right, then his guys will get to this sight line at about the same time as you. There's a pretty good chance he'll die, whereas if you path him to this building, there's a pretty good chance he'll survive, and then you just manually move it to the next one. It's not a big deal. And then, yeah, another SPG9 going here. Then we've got some more Strelers, so 3 Strelers. He's definitely expecting a SU-25 And yeah, this guy's going to the right place, and it looks good to me. Then some FS Jaeger. So in this case, I would have preferred FS Jaeger Metis, because the Metis would allow you to then shoot down the road at the rest of the reinforcements. But it's not a big deal. And then behind that to Recon. So this guy's going to a good place. I'm not sure what the plan is here, because you've already got a bunch of units in front of this guy, so he doesn't serve any purpose. If you're trying to guard the flanks, you could put him here. Or you could just send him further forwards with the rest of the team, because you do want some form of recon with this. Interestingly enough, Untermensch does not get a recon helicopter. They're the only division in the game that doesn't. So yeah, you're going to be lacking recon, and it would be great to see this motorized Razvedka go here, and then he can move up to here and scout for your SPGs and your other infantry. We've got 2 CVs. This guy's been pathed wrong. He's not going to take Bravo. That's just because of the map. You gotta tell him to go over here if you want him to auto path through Bravo. Now you know. It's one of those things. 1 Saperi RPO. No supply for any of this, but I guess supply can come later. 1 Conquer is going to here. Yeah, good spot. So 2 CVs for Manco, and he's opened BM21 Napalm, and it's not got an attack or the Qs yet. So this thing's pretty supply hungry, but it is really good at securing areas. It's really good. So I would love to have seen that already queued onto something, but presumably we'll see that in a couple of seconds. On AGM side, we've got 2 Razvedka deploying quite conservatively. So this guy's going to here, fair enough. This guy's going to here, so seems that he's conceded the town at the start. Behind that, we've got a bunch of slow units, so I apologise, I realise my voice sounds pretty dry, but there's not a lot I can do about that right now. So yeah, he's got 1 CV. It's an armoured CV. You don't really see this one a lot, but it has its utility. But it is slow. So he's going here and then to here, so yeah, you'll get both those zones. And behind that, he's got Conkers and BMP 1Ps, which you don't usually see. And the reason why is generally people want to get their Conkers to places as fast as possible. But the BMP 1P is, can be useful. Like, it does have a faggot and 3 armor and smoke. But yeah, this guy's not going to get here because he's so slow. You have to anticipate that the enemy's going to get here first, and there's been no attempt to try and take this part of the town. And the other one is going to here, and once again, he's just not going to get there. He's just not fast enough. The Sturm S, so the Kokon's pretty good, especially when you get 12 of them. This is quite expensive, sadly. Mediocre stealth means they get spotted as soon as they fire, because once they fire, they go to bad stealth while they're fired, I believe. And he's in quite a conservative spot. And then behind them, we got some Motostrelky Metis, and he's going to here, and you see the route he's taking. He's just not going to make it, basically. The enemy's going to get to this building with wheeled forward deployment, and that gets there a lot faster than tracked regular deployment. A Briusa going to here, and munitions for the Briusa. So Cub's probably better than Briusa right now, but it depends. If you're anticipating helicopters, then the Briusa would be better than the Cub. On the right side, got Razvedka deploying very conservatively. And behind that, we've got a very conservative deployment on this side as well. So at the start of the game, you want to rush the middle of the map and take the key parts of the map, take the key zones, which is on Vertigo is this, and the town in general. You need to rush that as fast as possible, because defending's easier than attacking. So whoever takes it at the start is going to have this big advantage that he just has to kind of sit there, whereas you have to attack, and that's very difficult, particularly at the lower level. So yeah, quite a conservative deployment on this side as well. We got an Igla going to here, so that's very conservative. TA2 BVK command tank, so you'll take both those zones. Conker's going to here, so yeah, that's a good spot for it. This is also a good spot. Yeah, they're both good spots. And then 2 Motostrelky BMPs in BMP 1Ps, which is quite surprising. Typically people would bring these in the BMP 2 because it's a lot better. And then a Metis going to here. So you got to think, right, well, why have I got a unit all the way back here if this is my defensive line? So a great spot for him would be over here. But yeah, a lot of these guys haven't played more than like 10 or 20 multiplayer games. I believe the limit was nobody in the tournament can have played more than 100 ranked games. So I believe there's 1 or 2 people on like 102 or something. But yeah, that's it for the deployment, and now we'll go into the game. If I'm too harsh, let me know. I'm used to sort of slating pro players, slating myself. I want to give useful, pertinent advice without being too much of an arsehole. Sometimes that's difficult, so comment section, let me know. Generally, there tends to be quite a wide array of people's thoughts and feelings, but I get to make an aggregate. If you want to see more rookie tournament casts, let me know. As I said, it's just a very different pace of the game. It's a very different way of looking at the game. And regardless, I'm going to be casting some more because I want to get more people into the tournament circuit. And my first game in the tournament circuit, I was the favourite to win because I was ranked 1 on the leaderboard, rail replacement bus service, and I lost in 8 minutes and 19 seconds to Larry Falk from the hit game Ace Combat Zero. So everybody starts somewhere, and I encourage you to not be a bellend in the comments. And now we'll get to the game. Right, so they're off, and between them, I think Manco's deployment's just much better. He's trying to napalm the spawn road here. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, basically at the start, you want fast, wheeled forward deployment. Take as much ground as possible, as quickly as possible. Force your enemy to attack into you. And Manco's, definitely trying that. He's going for this zone at the start, this part of the map at the start. The advantage of this is that once you get here, then anybody coming down this road gets whacked. So here comes the napalm. And this is cool. A lot of people have been experimenting with this. Because, yeah, it blocks the road, right? Thing is, because AJM's deployment is on the slow side, it's not actually going to make a difference. But it does force this road Vertigo to unload early, because I believe he was trying to go to here, right? And he gets a couple hits on the road. Very pretty flames. I don't know how long they last, though. This mechanized push will actually go straight through that because napalm doesn't affect armored vehicles too much. But yeah, I like the idea. It's definitely something I'd try. I'm not sure if there are any rules in this tournament apart from like don't be racist. There's, the rules on the SDL website were taken 1-to-1 from League of Legends, and they say things like don't insult people, all these other things that just made me not eligible for the tournament, sadly. So yeah, Manco's taken this, and now he awaits his enemy, and this is where FS Jägermetis would be really good. But yeah, first things first, this guy needs to move up. This guy needs to move up. These guys are in good spots. This guy needs to move up. This guy can't see anything. This guy is moving up. So yeah, here you go. So because it's an armored vehicle, doesn't actually take too much damage from the flames, but what's the range of this? This SPG-9 is going to be in range to shoot that when it goes down that road, and this is what I mean about the start. So there you go, this SPG. Wow, that's a really good LOS actually. Just got him. So he shoots everything that comes through smoke, and yeah, I would love to see this move up to here. I really like the SPG-9s. I think they're really cool. I think they make a really good sound. They used to get like 13 ROF. But AGM successfully repathed all his guys, and he's actually going to get back into the zone. Shame about the CV, because it was at the front, which is not what you want. Time to react on that one. Over here, could see an attack from either player, but yeah, these units are too far behind. You want them like here, perhaps. There's a case to be made for not putting everybody in this little block, because the MLRS is going to hit that. Still got 20 rounds. Would love to see that now attacking over here. And yeah, the Sturm S, because it's an ATGM character and not much else, you really want it to be at max range, at its 2,800 meter range, so that it can take advantage of that, because closer than that, your enemy's going to have the chance to shoot back. So leaving it here would have actually been quite good, or even like here, or even here. But yeah, so you see it gets domed by the FS Jaeger and it can't even shoot back because all it's got is ATGMs. So now we see some Saperi RPO, and yeah, once you lose this, then you have to path round here, which is really annoying. And so he did actually have wheeled stuff at the start, so to see that come in at the start would have been really cool. The BMP-1Ps are doing good work though. And yeah, you see these Conkers are like defensive units. So you don't want to buy too many of those in your opener because they're for defense, but first you need to take ground. Whereas this can shoot everything. The Conkers can really only shoot a tank very slowly. So good work moving these SPGs up. We'd love to see some supply. So there's some supply. Love to see some supply for frontline, and then there you go, yeah, so the next volley is going to hit this forest now. These guys are going to unload, which you don't want. You want them to get over here, get in here, try and attack over here. So once they unload, you got to walk them. And then, yeah, we'll see. This guy should get here now because the SPGs aren't in position. You don't need 2 recon on the same spot, so it's a waste. Move this guy up. This flank looks like nothing's happening. Ajm did have the advantage at the start, but attacking into Conkers and Metis and SPG would have been quite difficult, to be honest. And now there's a tank here as well. But yeah, if he'd walked his infantry across first and used his command tank, which he's paid a lot of money for, could have done some good stuff. Now we see some more motor Strelky BMP in the BMP-1 PG. Difference with this is that it has a grenade launcher. But once again, the BMP-2 is way better. Way better. Try the BMP-2 with your motor Strelky. You'll really appreciate it. So now he's trying to attack, but because he's unloaded these, they're not going to get there in time. Could use some... oh, no, he's got recon, never mind. Could use some recon on Manco's side. And some recon over here from either player. So Ajm actually did buy recon, it's just too far away. Could put that around to here. This guy hasn't been unloaded. You can do Shift U when you're setting your move orders. So right click to set the move order, then hold Shift, press U, and then he'll unload that position. So these guys want to dismount a little bit early so that the BMP-1Ps don't get blown up by small arms and, sorry, artillery. No, not artillery. Shoulder-fired anti-tank. Because if they drive too close, then the shoulder-fired anti-tank's in range. And they can still provide fire support from quite far away with the grenade launchers. But he gets them all in. And, yeah, that helps protect the infantry, so sometimes it is advantageous to do it. Manco quite correctly here, just sending these guys around the sides. This thing can fire a bit faster than I thought it could. Reload time, oh no, 192 seconds. So that's a good volley, and yeah, you see that it just stuns all these guys. Yeah, they're all useless now because they're low cohesion. Would love to see AGM not send the rest of these guys into the napalm. Is that a napalm one? No, it's not. It's a Urigan. Okay, my bad. My bad. I was thinking, where's the fire? So that's why it quote-unquote reloaded so fast. It's because it's a different artillery piece. So yeah, good play from Manco. But if he's going to go heavy on this, then yeah, you get this supply helicopter, which is good. But you will run out, and there's a case to be made for bringing a FOB. But if you bring a FOB on this map, then you definitely can't afford to bring 2 CVs at the start. Over here, this helicopter's playing quite conservatively because he knows about the Verusa. This helicopter can be aggressive because the Strelas, you know, they're not very good. And they've not been revealed yet. He doesn't know that they're here. Would love to see some supply. There you go. And this is a pretty cool attack. The motor Strelky's in. Would have loved to see, you know, these guys in their vehicles and these T-62s up. That would have been cool. So this thing now, it's not got any rockets left, so you need some supply for it, really. Now it's tanking Strela hits. Once again, I'd like to apologise for the poor quality of my voice. It will get better. I am in recovery. So if this was Metis, FS Jaeger Metis, he'd be donking all these. As it stands, he's doing good work trying to thread the needle with these T-55s and get some good shots off. Really cool attack. Would love to see some smoke, but from guys that, you know, have like 10, 20 games, that, you know, that's not very fair to ask for that. So, Manco, yeah, adjusting his fire. He risks hitting his own guys, but sometimes, you know, since when does Shepard care about danger close? And he's halting the attack through doing this, so it is working for him. He's got his own Kokons up because I believe that Verusa just died. Over here, yep, trying to thread the needle. Because of the way LOS works, so this building block, the actual buildings themselves provide the LOS block, so it's very cool. You can you can thread the needle a lot and get good sight lines, and that changes it from Red Dragon, where I'm pretty sure this building block was just a square that blocked LOS. So with the AT being gone, you can now move up the helicopter. Right-clicking the unit can be annoying because if he moves back, your guy will move forwards. What's more useful to do is just to move him to within range and then let him shoot whatever he wants. Because yeah, if he moved back, then you'd lose targeting, and your guy would move forwards. But there is no stabilizer on these bad boys. But yeah, AJM needs the more AA. I mean, he's got a bit, but not really in position. I would love to see some Osas. They're really good. I actually prefer it to the breweries, so this patch I bring Cubs and Osas and Iglas. And yeah, so he's got the command tank in, but it's showing side armor, and then this semi-24P is messing it up because it was just on a move order. You need to face into that, otherwise it's going to kill you. So yeah, he puts it on reverse now. Pretty sure that's on reverse, you can tell from the arrow direction. Yeah, and so now it's front facing. So he will survive now because of that, I think. But he should smoke, really. Press B for smoke. Here we go, BMP2s. There we go. So good play from Ajm. He got his guy into this little bit where he's saved. He's got his foothold. And now he's moving up over here. He really does need to deal with this. I've noticed no players have brought planes. Which in this patch makes sense. I mean, if there were 2 Cubs back here, they would kill all planes. Yeah, these need to be firing 24/7. Because you paid for them, you need them to pay for themselves. Like, this is not cheap. This is 330 points. This is 250. This is 140. So that's like 3 minutes of income there. Whereas all this is probably about 3 minutes of income. So, yeah, this is a showcase of how difficult it is to push back into this town on this map once you've lost it, because all these guys are coming up here and then they're just getting, you know, the tanks and stuff are getting three shots off, like 16 Kokons were fired. This guy's probably going to die now, yeah. Here we go, air coming out. These SU-22s are really good for killing helicopters in one pass. And you might say it's unfair, but it's just the state of the game. You gotta play the game. So yeah, I'd unload these guys here while they've got a firing angle. No need to do this. Keep in mind that the autocannon stabilizer is only 5% because it's basically unstabilized. They just sort of shoot anyway. So yeah, it's worth unloading these guys when they can shoot and then moving the infantry up so that they can support the infantry while they're moving forwards. As it stands, when you close a range gap like this, these guys are going to chew them up with the RPGs. So, Manco correctly identifies the fact that, you know, how does my enemy get back in this game? Well, he might attack over here. So this is now pretty secure. If you click a unit from your unit card, click Y, and then click on the map, he will unload when he gets to his position. So that stops you from making mistakes like this. And yeah, AJM, trying to reinforce this side. At this point, I'd just be bringing everything over here because you're all in. You're all in for this zone. You need to try and take this zone. Some more AA, that's good. But yeah, realistically, it's just about these buildings. So some artillery to suppress this area, some smoke, because otherwise everybody's going down this road and they're pathing across here, and then any tank here or ATGM team just going to shoot everything as they're going past. Really frustrating. But that is the map. So BTR 50 PK being sent to scout. I noticed this guy's out of ammo, so he'll get pretty close actually. No, well, yeah, the recon's here, but it can't see anything. You know, you can move up to here. I believe these trees count as, can I even tell in spectate? No, I can't. But yeah, I believe these trees count as tree cover. So, yeah, I've noticed red CV's died here. That T80 BVK, I wonder what happened to it. This guy's lost one ago, no, surely that wasn't it. Well, these guys have lost lots of missiles. So something killed that T80. And yeah, once again, you've got the same problem. If you just auto-path your guys down these roads, they get shot. And the T64BV, it's like a heavy tank, basically. I mean, it is a heavy tank. Yeah, it's really good. What more is there to say? It'll beat a T62. Costs more than twice as much. But its accuracy is not fantastic, as you can see. So, AGM, gearing up for a big attack here. You want to disperse your guys a little bit before you attack because you know about these. And this is a comfortable lead for Manco now because all the additional reinforcements have gone on this side. These guys are now outmatched. And yeah, just one tank here just shoots everybody coming down this road. So you really got to take this area at the start because the same applies on the other side. One tank here can shoot everybody coming down this road. Bit easier on blue side though because you can path over here. On red, so you'd have to path like that. In which case he'd see you anyway, and a tow could still shoot you. Or path like this, which takes ages. It's quite micro-intensive. So another CV coming out for AGM. I'll be honest, I think Manco's lead's pretty significant at this point. Don't really see how AGM gets back in this game. Like, he could attack here, but this has been secured. Supply should be on these guys, really. This guy can't see anything. So when you've got your recon set up, just press C and take a look at what he can see. Like, if he was here, he could be able to see everything, right? But yeah, as it stands, not very useful. Same with this guy. And this guy as well, like, why are these two people back here? They don't help you. They need to be, you know, up here maybe, like on the front line. Sure, maybe the enemy will get a big breakthrough, but all the enemy really needs to do at this point is just sit on his arse, because Manco's on +2, right? Well, that will go down when these guys get back in, but there's no supporting assets here now. That everybody's been redirected over here. I would love to see some T80 BVs from Ajm because they're broken. But yeah, good idea with the recon helicopter. Just get him over there. Presumably there's going to be a plane coming for him, so you got to have some AA behind him. I've noticed there's no AA here. There's one Igla, that's not sufficient. Because yeah, you must think, I have a helicopter, what will my enemy do? He will chuck a plane at you, and if that doesn't work, he'll move up some ground-based AA. So you can't afford to stick around. And you gotta have AA under your helicopter, or behind your helicopter to revenge kill. As it stands, this is a cool attack, but there's no recon, so he's not going to spot this for ages, and it's going to get loads of shots off before he spots it. Here comes the plane. So yeah, you see, it's just these NR32s, right? It's just times 2. It's just really, really, really good. Just kills everything. One pass. Same with the French defers. So when you're attacking, you want everybody to go at once. Yeah, there's no recon. Even the Concos in their vehicles while they're fighting's not ideal either, because if this dies, then the unit inside will die. Over here, though, this has been secured. SU-18, he's passed over, and now he knows that there's no AA here. So you expect to see more planes. And if Ajm doesn't move soon, presumably this Jurgen's going to come and hit him here. As it stands, the infantry need to be going forwards, really. I mean, it's a tough one. There's just not enough T80 BVs here to really swing this. I don't think you've got much of a chance anyway, but you've got this infantry sat around, and yeah. Over on this side, Manco could definitely push this out. I guess he just doesn't know. He'll find out, though. And you see that the 9M117 has 2,800 meters range, whereas the Argona only has 2,625, so these T62Ms can be used for standoff. Here we go. And that's going on all the infantry. Yeah, I was aiming for the Conkers, but I reckon some of these shots will hit over here. Bit weird, they're all going left of target. So they got 8 missiles left. There you go, see. And now the CV's firing, which is not what you want, because now the enemy's going to know where it is. If he had recon. Yes, this guy's now in a good spot. Yeah, so you guys are getting hit now. It's very sad. And yeah, Manco's now counter-attacking, which... Yeah, I mean, you can do it. The Uragan has just suppressed everything, so this is the best time to do it. I'd be tempted to just sit on my rear at this point. Although, now that he's got the CV, yeah, now he's back to a +2, because he wasn't actually at a +2 before. And he's attacking on this side as well. So that's good. Try and force him out of here. Use that MLRS. Napalm 1's almost up. Just hit that area and then move in. Yeah, you need recon with your pushes, really. This motorized Revic needs to be moved up. Some AA. 2 Strelers is not sufficient to defend all these tanks. You got to expect a anti-tank plane SU-25 Summit to come and kill all these guys. You typically want infantry in front of them as well if you're going to do that. T-80BV comes out, and these guys have now been pushed out. So I think Ajm recognizes that he's got to run away, which is better than just sitting there and dying. And we're seeing an ATGM fight here. I don't think either one of them will... Oh, he smoked because he realised he was outmatched. Cobra, Agona, Cobra. So the Agona's better. So T-64BV actually does have the better ATGM. The accuracy on the main gun's actually the same. So T-80BV, I didn't know that. Interesting. And yeah, AGM's moving us back in now, otherwise he'll lose the game. Quite static, but I think Manco's content to just wait until he wins. I mean, he's winning. But yeah, he could definitely push him out here if he knew about it. And these T-80BVs are at 1 vet, whereas all these guys are at 2 vet. And that means that as soon as they take a hit, their suppression is going to be so high that they basically become useless, like mediocre cohesion. Whereas, you know, this guy's still on high cohesion after taking a hit, despite having less armor than the T-80BV. And that's the difference between 1 suppression and 2 suppression. When you're on low suppression, you miss lots. That guy's probably not long for this world. And here we go, the infantry's moving up. Or at least the recon's moving up. You need infantry in front of this really to take the ground. I mean, here's a Moshus, and that's a good idea. These guys are out of ATGMs now, so this guy can get 2 additional shots off, but you can see how much damage it's doing. It's not really a whole lot. Good use of helicopters for standoff, and here we go, the napalm's been used now. The only difficulty with this one is that you can't move in behind it because it sets fire to everything, unlike the Uragan, but I mean, it forced him out of the zone, which is what you want. +4 for Manco now, and I believe that's GG, right? There's no CVs on the board for Ajm. And yeah, GG, well played. Just let the clock run down. Here we go, you see suffering from your lack of AA now. You got to expect, I'm moving forwards, what's going to happen to me? ATGM's going to shoot you, so you need recon to spot those. You need supply behind you guys to give them new smoke. Planes are going to come for you, you need AA. Helicopters are going to come for you, you need anti-helo AA. So yeah, GG, but a bit of a difference in games here. Hang on, no, that's me. That's me. This man is not ranked 22. Sadly, there's a bug in the replays, but yeah, Ajm241, 40 games, and sadly we can't check how many games Manco has because it just comes up with my profile. But it was all about the opening there, and then you're forced to attack into, you know, defended positions. It's very difficult. Good play. You can get away with more R2 at the lower level. Wow. And you see that, you know, the number of kills was not that high, but their impact on the game was huge. Good game, well played.